All right. Hello, everyone. Different setup today. I'm visiting the Microsoft office, so it's really exciting to be in the office with all the buzz and the MVP summit going on. So I actually got to set up in a conference room, so I get a whiteboard. I could probably actually draw on it if we wanted. Kind of cool. Um, yeah, I'm really excited to be here and to be working on gMusic again. I was trying to think about some of the next steps that I should be taking and what we want to do to really flesh out this UI. So in the first bit, when I was setting up the project and I was doing some of the initial layout, I did some things that they were okay and it works all right, but I think I want to make some of the UI stuff a little bit more generic so I can start reusing some more of the code. A lot of the power of doing Xamarin and C Sharp for mobile is to really reuse as much code as possible. And so I'd like to make some of my pages a little bit smaller and just reuse that same list view since almost every screen in this app is going to be that same exact grouped list view. There's a couple one-offs, but all the other ones should all use the same stuff. And I still might subclass and make individual ones just to make it or a little bit stronger typed. But I like to move at least that list implementation and probably rename our song cell. I was debating on maybe even jumping in and implementing an ngraphics backend for FF image loader, depending on time, or that way I can get my icons loading properly. Because we ran into that last time to where some of them just load really funny. And I was debating doing some of the now playing screen as well, because right now I think it's blue or green. I think it's a box and it's ugly. And I want to do some fancy things with it as it slides up and down that it will fade things in and out and make it a little bit more of a dynamic screen. I was thinking about how to make it on the old app when running it, and I let that little part that's always there, go up and beyond, which is probably possible with Forms. But at the same time, I like the idea. I've done it before with other things where I just fade it out. So when it's at the top, it's invisible and not even there, versus when it's down, it's visible. And it's kind of nice to do things dynamically based on the position. So that'll be a fun thing to build. We might play with some of that today. Soon, I'm going to need to start doing stuff with playback because we're going to have the UI working, we're going to be able to tap on things, and it'd be nice to get the cross-platform audio working. That's probably going to take at least two streams, maybe more, to really get cross-platform audio working. The audio engine's pretty robust, especially when we start describing how it works with like downloading and streaming things and pre-caching and equalizers, and there's lots of interesting things there. Especially since on iOS and Android, none of the native audio players allow you to actually pass in just streams or data and say, hey, this is how much it is. Seek when you're ready. Like that API doesn't exist. There's ways around it, but which I've implemented some, so that gets a bit complicated. But that'll be some fun inner workings of iOS and Android audio playback when we get there. Um, okay, so let's switch over to a code view, and I think I'm just gonna get started on refactoring. I want to clean some of this up. Um, okay, oh, on my one screen, it looked like I was cut off, but it looks good. I'm not on my giant screen. I'm doing it on two laptops. I tweeted a picture of my mobile setup. It's kind of fun, and I hope that I can see everything all right because I'm not used to this small size. Also, I am today going to be using the preview versions of Visual Studio for Mac using the new C Sharp editor. So I'm really excited to be using that, and that's going to be fun. It's awesome and does really cool things. So we might run into a few bugs here or there. It's still in a preview state, and it was whenever you rewrite something from scratch, you run into things. It's just how the game works. And it's now brand new UI, but it's now sharing all the logic from Visual Studio for Windows. So it's really, really cool, and it's a great effort. I'm really glad the team's been working on it, and there'll be a little bit of growing pains, which we may witness today, but in the end, it's going to be worth it. So it's a great chance for me to work on this UI and help them find some bugs. Okay, so right now, the screens that we've implemented, we haven't finished genres yet. We haven't finished artists. We think we've just done artists and songs are the only real ones we have. And we have this song view cell, which I'd like to get this thing renamed because I'm going to use this one as my base media item cell. All the things that we bind off allow that. So we can use it really easily, and it has the FF image loader and just the two labels. Most likely I'm going to add some additional ornamentation to it. I'll need to have an action menu, so like the dot 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 thing, so you know you can tap on it or long press to present a menu and give you options like downloading the songs and thumbs up, thumbs down, removing them from offline, all that kind of fun stuff. So for now, we're just going to say we have the song cell. Let's refactor this. I'm wondering if I start here, and I think I can just rename from here. Rename from here. Like I said, I am. Oh, yeah, it's going okay. So we're going to call this media item, base media item. What do I call the model? Now I'm going to mess that whole thing up. Let's escape that and find out. I want it to match the name. I think I call it media item base. So we're going to call it media item cell. That works for me. All right, so let's rename this to media item cell. I know it's probably not going to do stuff right in the XAML part, but we can fix that. That's why we're getting errors there. No, not remove. We are going to rename. Oh, rename's not an option at that level. That's interesting. I need to file one. Hey, see? Found a bug. All right. Oh no, never mind. Doing it at the top level did both. That's not a bug. That's exciting. I like that. All right. So we have media item cell. If I jump into this XAML though, I'm pretty sure it didn't do it there. All right. So we'll paste that in there, and this cell should now be good and live. The question is, it probably didn't do it right in these pages. So this one says song view cell still there, so we'll change that. And then the artist page, artist page, I just built it out, which we're going to use that same cell everywhere. So I was talking about I want to try and get this more unified so I can share more code. All right, so I'm probably going to start by, right now we have our songs page. And our songs page is a XAML page. We're probably going to build one XAML page, and then I'm just going to subclass that with code because I'm not going to be changing all the UI after that. And that'll help me when I'm doing my menu item and things like that to do the right icons, because I don't like the titles for menus. I think it's ugly. I like having an icon. And you don't have to localize those, so it's kind of cool. All right, so we're just going to start with, yeah, I'm just going to do a new file, and I'll do a new XAML content page, and we are going to call this a simple database, because we're using a simple database view model adapter stuff. So we're going to call it a simple database list view. I like that. All right, so we now have a content page, and I could even encapsulate this into a view instead of a full view or a content page, but I'm pretty much always going to use this as a content page. So if we jump into here, I am just going to steal a lot of this because can I format some of this a little better? Hit enter, oops, wrong place. Let's hit that down. Okay, that's gonna be painful with how tiny this screen is. Enter, that is never gonna happen. The name I don't like, we're gonna need to change that to be title, bind it to the title page, or the title property. But I don't want to copy over the class stuff because that's not going to match. So let's move this class stuff to the top. And this page is going to get deleted anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're going to move that to the top. Binding is title, that's good. Xname, browse item page, that we aren't going to need because that doesn't match. And transformations, okay, we need everything down from there. So let's move, no, that's the class. So from here, let's format. Oh, I didn't want to format that yet. We'll format it when we paste it. All right, so I'm going to copy all of this, and we're going to move this to our new page. And actually, I need to, from the class down, paste this thing. And, okay, one thing was duplicated. We can handle that. You can go away. And I still have an error. Unexpected white space. Did I paste that wrong? Nope, not. Okay, I need a white space. Is that the same one? Yeah, we don't need that one in there twice. And then we put a space. Copying and pasting code is always fun. Never goes as expected. All right, space there. So now it's happy. So now I can Control I to format that. And yay, it's nice and pretty. So we have our items list view thing, we have the caching, we have the grouping right, we have item on selected, which we can override. We'll make that a virtual method. Load items command, which is going to be perfect, and we can call that for each of them. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So I'm going to jump over to here, and we're going to steal more of this code. We don't need the Oh, we don't need that one, but we'll delete it. So we're going to throw these in here. Let's get this nice and refactored. Okay, we don't need the add-on. We'll kill that. The view model doesn't exist yet. We're going to make that generic into, okay, we've got that as item. We don't need this. We're just going to do that. We're going to make this virtual. Make that virtual so we can override it on the individual pages. So that way they can have different behavior for each page. We've got our view model. That is going to be what we'll need to do a tad bit differently. We'll do, actually, yeah, I like that. Okay, so we have, trying to remember the right way I want to do this. What's our generic on that thing? Try to remember how the view model works. I remember I went to do this last time and ran into something. Oh, not songs view model. We have the base view model. No, it's a simple database. This is what I want to make generic so I can then pass things into it. Okay, we have that. And, oh, right, that's where I put all of my reload for that. Because all of them I want to reload the same way. I just call that refresh as you navigate through, so things always update and things are nice up to date for people. Okay, so we have our simple list view. It's got that generic list view here. We can jump into here and we can make it to where it's bound to the view model, which is the base thing, or we can just say public simple database source. And I'm 90% sure I ran into issues with this last time, but this is and that will database. Oh, it's simple database source. Should spell things right and actually type the whole name and it'll work better. All right, simple database source, which is our view model, and we need to add using our view model. So we've got that, and then okay, let this thing update. T must be non-active. I ran into this, and then it is where T that is that the right syntax? So, hey, that's the right syntax. I remember how to do things now. That actually is going to blow up our XAML though, because that's a new different type. Let's see if we can change that in the XAML and make it work. If not, that's going to cause a problem, but I can fix that later. I have different ideas on how to fix that. So let's say, or is it going to do the T? No, it doesn't like that. Ugh, how am I going to bind those? XAML is nice, but it also can be evil at times. Okay, that is totally not going to work. So we will set the view model differently. Yeah, it's so lame. So lame. That'd be so pretty. It would have worked really nice. Okay, I know I can do this in a generic way. My table view will still work. I can still do my view models outside of here, and so I'm not going to actually set my view models. I will do, what I will do is I will have a public base view model, and what this will do is it will do get. It will just return binding context as base view model. And then we will do set equals binding context. Wrong hotkey. I'm using a different keyboard as well. So control option space is the one I normally do, but that's so gonna drive me nuts. All right, so binding, let's copy and paste since I can't type, equals value. All right, so that whole generic type thing totally threw me off there and doesn't work. So we'll set this base view model here. Now on our base view model, I'm not sure if I have a refresh on there. I can't remember. Base view model dot, no. So we will probably type this thing a little differently where we have a, maybe I'll just throw that into the base view model. is busy. That just triggers that. Since there's a view model, I like having a refresh method on my view model, so that way I can always call that from my views navigating around. Hey, refresh your data. Hey, refresh your data. I do this in lots of instances. For these ones that are bound to the tables, I listen for notification of my database changing. This eliminates a lot of extra stuff you have to deal with and a lot less memory leaks because there's one notification you're paying attention to. And with the songs database, it's easy. If the songs change, the artist changed, the albums changed, just refresh it all. The refresh is so fast that it's not worth the headache of trying to deal with which properties change because it just changed and you're good. So we'll throw in one thing on here. We'll just say public void data. Actually, wow, Siri has been listening to me for a while. That's a whole paragraph it just wrote on my watch. That's kind of funny. All right, so we'll do this as a public virtual task, and we'll just for now return task.from, come on, task.from result, and I can just go here, click on that, task from result, and true. Hey, you're done. Nice and happy. All right, so now we have a reload that we can call reliably on each of these that will await. And so here I'll just say override async void, and we'll just say wait. I probably, actually, we're going to throw in some fancier stuff in there, even fancier than that. So we'll say await base view model dot refresh. No, sorry, not base view model, view model dot refresh or reload data. That's what I called it. So what we can do with this reload data is I want to make sure that since I'm doing this as we navigate around, if for some reason we have a long reload cycle, we're on a page, we switch tabs, then we switch right back. I don't want this thing calling this refresh everywhere. I already built things into my syncing layer to take care of that, so I don't technically need to do it at the view model. If we can look at that to show how that works, it's really, really cool. So inside of the manager, I can't remember if I showed this on one of the other streams. Why am I blanking on where this is at? It's in APIs. Okay, so it's not in APIs, it's in the managers. There's a music manager of some sort. Music provider, API. Let's look at the API. So inside of our Google, no, it's at the provider level. Sorry, I work on this stuff too much. So we have our music provider, which is there. Yes, it's the music provider level. So the music provider has a thing called sync. So if we look at the sync database, it does something really cool. What it does is I have a locker, so that way this works from any thread. But I have in here a sync task, and it returns whether it was true or false. So if whether it was successful, there was an error or whatever. So did this sync? What I do is I check if the sync task is null, or if it has been completed, we need to do a new sync. So I'll do task.run and then await the sync. This sync is protected. It can't be called publicly from anywhere else. So as long as and it's an abstract, so that's what's implemented. Each of my providers implement that. So as long as you always call this public sync database, you can never have more than one of them syncing at a time. And then I do this at a different level as well. Right now I had it hard-coded to calling gMusic sync, but eventually I just say, hey, sync all my music providers. And so those happen as one thing. And so as you're navigating around, you're not constantly, if it's in the middle of resyncing, it'll actually return that existing task. So if you navigate to a page, it's syncing in the background, you pull to refresh, so now you get the little spinner. That spinner hooks into this existing task, so then it's done, and the spinner goes away when it just joins that existing task. So it's really nice to have a pattern like that so you're not doing extra work, and it makes it really nice to hook into a hook in, and you can do things ahead of time for people and still give them those visual cues when they manually choose to do it. People like to pull the refresh, it's just what we do, but it's nice to do that ahead of time so then yeah, they can join in and it's already done. And these do incremental sync, so it will check with the server, hey, is there anything new? And the server says nope, and so it's really even fast to do those syncs all the time. Also, like I always say, if you have questions, I like these to be interactive. If you guys have questions, ask why I'm doing something, ask me to explain something in more detail, tell me I'm doing something wrong. I do that. I mess up. I was live coding today for the MVP Summit, and it was so helpful to have someone say, you missed a curly brace. So please speak up if you have any questions or need help or want to know how I'm doing something or why. Okay, so we've got that API layer going on. And so technically for now, I'm just going to use this as the reload data. And I may make the reload data follow that same pattern. Probably, I don't think I need to. I don't need to do it twice since I'm already doing that. And I'm going to do that at another level later when I add more providers. So we'll just stick to that for now. All right, so we have our base view model, which we're going to reload. Now on the base view model, I know I'm missing a few things. So this binds to, for this one, I'm going to go down to the base view model where it's not typed. I'm probably now going to throw in another one. So it will be base view model. We probably need to have like a simple database style view model that implements the base view model, and that we can make typed. So that way we can still access everything from here. We'll have the items on it, and it's not going to be as strongly typed because you can technically pass in a base view model that's not a real one, or not the simple database one, but we'll just force ourselves. Yeah, we'll just go with that. All right, so new class. We'll do simple database view model, and this we are going to make this thing be a base view model. And we are going to type this where t new that because that's required, and then we'll do public simple database source t items. I think that's what we called. Actually, let's call this a source because I like that better, and we'll just fix the SAML. Equals, oh no, get set. We really need that or things don't work right. And now we can start moving stuff from like our songs view model that we did, which has it was all this old stuff. So we'll bring some of this over and we'll put a title. Do I have a title in this guy? This guy needs a title. Yes, it does. Okay, good. So we have a title. So now inside of here, we can say this will make a new songs one. It will subclass the songs view model. We're just going to redo it here. It will now subclass simple database view. Wrong one. Database view model. And we're going to say it's a type of song because that's what goes into this puppy and what comes out. So now we can delete this guy. We can delete our loading. Actually, I might need that loading command. We need to move that loading command down to the base view model to tie into the pool to refresh. Can't forget that. So for pool to refresh to work, we need the commands. So we will pop this over to, my base view model is getting bloated. It's okay. I can live. Perfect. So we will also do that here, throw that in there, and then let's grab, I just like having the pool to refresh. It's so nice. And yeah, we're now going to do this stuff. Okay, we're going to be putting stuff like that into for that. I don't want that refresh to happen. I don't want to have it saying it's busy. I like syncing silently in the background so you don't take up that space if you don't need to. Okay. And we're also now going to be able to tie into the database connection stuff there. Okay, so we have that. Let's grab this. We're just gutting this thing. It's going to be next to nothing, so it'll be super easy to build on the next few pages. Oh, we need to put this in the base view model with this loading command. Do I have? Nope, I do not. All right, so we'll do public base view model, and we'll put that in here, and we'll just actually, let's do this right. I like calling this refresh command because that's what it is. So we'll call this refresh command here. And now, so technically the pool to refresh shouldn't let you do that multiple times, but we may do my little fancy thing in there for pool to refresh. So what we'll do is public async void execute refresh. Hello, welcome new people watching. So far we're just working on redoing some of the old stuff to make it to where we have like base view models that actually are base, and so each screen's going to be a lot smaller. Feel free to ask questions as I'm going to understand what's going on. But yeah, all right. So this should technically only ever fire in the main threads. We're just going to say task um, refresh task. We'll put this here. What we'll do here is task refresh. Actually, we're going to make this a task. I think they can handle that just fine up there for the execute. Yeah, it has to be a task. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to do that same thing in here. If refresh task equals null, actually, don't do old school code. Question mark dot is completed, true, we'll say refresh task equals, we don't need this to be async now, equals refresh. Actually, I'd like this being lowercase because it's inside. Refresh. Perfect. Return refresh task. No, refresh task. There we go. All right, so now we have our little refresh command, and what it's going to do is, actually, we don't even need this one. We have a reload data. Bam. Done. That's perfect. All right, so what we have is we have our execute refresh, which will go from pool to refresh or things like that. Actually, no, I want another one. The reason is that loading indicator. I want to make sure we're doing that right. So what I will do in here is busy equals true, and then try, I'm going to catch it because I'm a good citizen like that. I don't like my app crashing. Why is this not happy with that? Oh, it's because it doesn't return anything yet. We'll get there. All right, so we're going to make this async. That'll get rid of that error message. So what we'll do is we will await reload data, and then catch. Actually, I'm just going to do a finally. I catch everything deep down inside that anyway. So finally, I'm going to do one more thing as well. No, that's good, because we're going to, never mind. Ignore me. What we'll do here is now we'll just say is busy equals false. Perfect. I like to do some of that stuff with like the try catch finally and wrap them inside of like a using statement. It's really nice to have things like that toggle things. I'll show that with a spinner eventually. It's how I do like an indicator for like I'm doing something. I just say using spinner and I do a bunch of code and then I teach the UI how to handle that so it'll present spinners and whatnot. But then the spinner goes away. It's nice. It's easier than doing all this try catch finally. Just putting a using and like magic it works. So it doesn't really work as well here, but we'll do that later. So I just like that pattern. Refresh. All right. So now we'll have pull the refresh. I need to jump over and make sure I'm tying some of this stuff in right. So let's put our song view, not this one. This one should be good. This is that execute this thing dies now. We don't need any of that. That is busy is going to be handled per page like it should be. Google Music Provider, we still haven't done the proper API manager stuff I do. So I don't like that, but I don't know if I'm ready to build that stuff over yet. We're just going to leave it right there for now. It needs to get cleaned up and will later, so let's make sure I put in a nice do clean this up, move it to the API manager. I don't have the API manager yet. I need to build that. I'll probably bring over the old one because it worked very well. Okay, so we have that. Now what I can do on this one is override reload data, and this can be done actually. Once I have my API manager, I will do that at that level. I'll just say API manager, reload everything. So I actually do this not at the songs level, but I do this at the simple database level because that's where it matters. So we don't need the base constructor, override, reload data. So actually, why don't we, that's better. We'll move it here for now. I want to make that static so I'm not creating one syncing thing per view model. And again, this is going to go away. It's just temporary code. Why can't I copy that right? All right, so cut that. Let's move over to this place. We'll set again, temporary. I don't like it. It's going, but it's good enough for now. Add that using. Dun, dun, dun. It's happy. All right, so we have our source. Inside of here, what we will do is we will do a try catch. And I try catch everywhere just because I'm paranoid about my apps crashing. And then I don't think do I have my log manager? Sorry, my hotkeys don't work in the new one yet. They're working on adding those in the new editor. It's a tad bit painful. All right, we do have log manager. Share dot report, I think is what I do for exceptions. You report exceptions. Perfect. So we'll pass that exception on so we're not just swallowing it. And now what we'll do is Google Music Provider. Let's make this puppy static. All right, so Google Music Provider dot reload or dot sync database. And let's await that. Spell async right. Wait this, and then we'll do source dot refresh data. All right. So now we've moved this stuff around. It's going to be really nice and really simple for us to just refresh our data on every page. We can do pull to refresh everywhere, and we don't need to do that. That's not needed. Perfect. All right, I like that. I like where we're going with this. So now we can clean up our songs view model. It does this, says it's a type of song. To be honest, that one I think is actually done. It's almost pointless to have one, but I get to set the title and things like that. With things like artists, it makes a bit more sense. So let's go over to our artist view model, and we're going to, it's actually just subclassing the song one and says that's the artist songs one, that's why. All right, so source. Change that, and then let's go to the, did I not do an artist one? I didn't even make an artist one last time, that's right, because I was like, what's the point? It's so simple. But we're going to do it. Let's create one. Because it's nice to set the title in it, and for overriding those actions, I would need to proxy those on selects over still, and I haven't done that yet. So that way we can do actions on it or whatever. But okay, so we'll do artists, plural, view model. Okay, so inside of here, we will just now subclass this, but we're going to say artist this time. And I need to add that using gMusic.models. That's the artist we want. Hey, maybe it doesn't exist in that context. Update. Oh, I need a semicolon. I mean a colon. That helps. All right, so we have that. Okay, perfect. So now public, I just deleted that constructor just to add it back. And we'll do title equals strings and bring in my strings class from localizations and artists. So now we have an artist thing there. Perfect, perfect. We might expose something else to this. Like right now I have for the songs, the artist one where you pass in an artist. Actually, I won't need that for artists. I do it for albums because I want to have an option to constrain artists by albums. So we have like, once you tap on an artist, I like to do a check. Do they have albums? Wow, my screen's like falling away from me. Hopefully this isn't aimed funny. Oh well, good enough. So I like to do a check. If there's artists and there are albums, I'll take you to the album view first. If there's not, I'm just going to take you straight into the songs or to that album view because there's only one album. So it's nice to be able to do things like that. Or just, I mean, I may change up the UI to where I show you albums and then songs. You can look at them separately, but I don't know. It's all fun and games there. Okay, but now that we're getting somewhere, we can do another one of these things for the genres. Genres, and we can do it for playlists, and oh, not just called genres, that's going to cause problems. Let's rename you to genres, view model. We can do this again. Nope, this was simple database view model, genre. And let's add you in. Okay, so now we have genres. Again, we do title equals strings, and to be honest, I'm adding view models just for the sake of view models at this point. I may even kill that just because I don't like having these classes that do nothing. It's super easy for me to just say, hey, new simple database view model of type genre, and its title is strings. It's so easy to do for these views. You know what? Let's let's go with that. We're not going to add them until we need them and we know they're reusable or they need to have some sort of extra logic, because this one has extra logic. I don't want to do that as I'm building something out that's ugly. But it's pointless to have a class that does absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, artists page. Let's get this going. It's been making a mess getting this together. I don't need this anymore. I am going to actually kill this page and rebuild it. Let's delete this. Goodbye, XAML. We have this. We'll change, it's a content page. We'll kill this initialize because that's gonna not work anymore. We have this. We don't need to do all of this nonsense because, oh no, we have a base type. So we're gonna make this a base type of simple database list view. All right, so it's a list view. We don't need to handle, we're gonna comment that out because that was our navigation when you select on something. Oh, it's partial. Actually, let's just delete it. I think it's causing issues because it thinks it's part of that XAML thing. Just delete it. There's nothing there that can't come back nice and easy. No, don't save. I deleted you. New class. We don't need XAML for this one because there's no point. We'll just do new artists page. Subs class, not artist page. That's why I last copied. Simple database list view. What we'll do inside of here is we will say view model. Didn't I have a thing called view model in there? Oh, I need to type this thing. That's the problem. All right, so now I should be able to say view this dot. What did I call that thing? I thought I called it view models. Oh, it's this one. Source. Source. That's a horrible name. I can't remember. Oh, no, that source wasn't for there. That's the view model. That's what the view model calls it. On side of this one, what did I call it here? View model. Okay, so IntelliSense, that's not typed. IntelliSense didn't kick in yet. So that is not typed. Like I said, I'm using the preview stuff, and so it does sometimes cause me more fun. Oh, so yeah, we'll do this dot view. That is infuriating. All right, I'm going to copy and paste so I know it's right. And we'll say simplest view, public view model. Did I call it the right thing? I'm just no, don't delete, that's genre as we deleted, so it's still hanging around since it was edited. Equals new base view model. Oh no, it's not a base view model. It is a new simple database view model. Simple database view model. And I need to add the using for that. Does anyone see anything odd I'm doing? I can't be doing something too crazy wrong here. That looks right. Why is that something still hanging out in memory? It still thinks that artist page is live. It's telling me that's not a partial class, so it's freaking out and thinking it's the wrong thing. Let me restart that. I think what the best way to kill that out. Like I said, I'm using early edition stuff. Let's just build and see if it freaks out. Thanks, Alex. Thanks. Okay, view model, well, I haven't built in a while, so there's some, yeah, that doesn't need that. I don't need all that. That page needs completely redone still. Okay, so it did build. I'm just getting bad IntelliSense. All right, so let's just close all the windows and see if that will force it to refresh. No, it did not. I might have to unload and reload the project. All right, let's just do that. It telling me I'm wrong will drive me insane. Okay, so that's up. Let's launch that again. All right. Hey, it's happy now. Thank you for being happy. You're happy, I'm happy. All right, artist page. Yay, okay, so now let's see if we get the IntelliSense. Hey, we're getting somewhere. Simple database, list view. No, simple database. This is that view model. Simple database view model, not list view model. And add that using in. Oh, I need to do new. That helps, doesn't it? And we need to type this puppy as artist. And now let's add a bunch of usings. Using this, using full database. Did I spell database base view model? Oh, I don't like that. I did not mean to do that. Let's go into here and rename this thing. That's ugly. Okay, so go into here. That looked funny. I just didn't read it to realize what was wrong. So we're going to call it this guy. Clean that up, simple database view model. We will add the using. We're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. All right, so now all I was doing that and giving it a title. So we're just going to do title equals strings and localization dot, oh no, wrong strings. That's weird. It should have done that right. Strings dot artists. All right, perfect. So now we have an artist page that should work. And our songs page is still on the old stuff, so let's check to make sure. I haven't ran this in a while, and I like to build more often than that, so I don't mess things up. Oh man, all right, fix that. All right. Wow, even our songs one is pathetic. Yeah, I might be losing a lot of view models. I hate just having code just for the sake of, oh, you should have a view model for everything, but there's nothing in it. I technically have a view model. Uh-oh. Should need a view. A root view. How do I not have a root? Oh, because, yeah. I thought we fixed that last time. All right, so I think I know what's going on. Let's look at our root page. Root page builds this thing out. It should find the first one that's not null, which should be artists, because the song page shouldn't be null, and neither should that. Yeah, that should be good. Because we created the get initial page. Get initial page should make sure it turns something that's not null. What did I do wrong? All right, let's look into this exception, see how big. I can't make it big enough for you guys to read it there. Probably my screen, just the weight of having this external camera on it just keeps like sliding my screen down more and more. There we go, that looks right. Screen's running away from me. Okay, so this is on the iOS crash saying that I don't have a root view controller, right? Application windows are expected to have a root view controller at the end of launch. Hello, I had one. What could I have done wrong? I didn't touch the root page. We have our artist page. Our song page is right. Song page should still be fine, even though it has nothing useful in it right now. Did I break? What did I break? How did I break that? Nothing looks out of place here. All right, so here's what we'll do. Let's do some real debugging. Let's figure out what's going on. We'll jump into our root. We'll make sure that what we're passing back isn't crazy. So root page, we set up our root. Let's go to the end here and save console. I always just do. Actually, we can just put a breakpoint on line 32. That should technically work too. Hope it does. I tend to just do a console.writeLine and write out what it is so I can look at it and see. Let's run this. All right. Oh, never even got there. What did I break? Okay, let's go to the iOS source. iOS, app delegate. We have create new thing, new app. All right, perfect. We have forms in it, new app. Go to declaration. Not that app. I want to look at, where's my app.cs? That's the problem. No app.cs. Why don't I have an app.cs? Okay, somehow I've noticed a couple things are off with this where things aren't grouping the right way. Somehow my CS proj is excluding app.cs. Right here. That is the problem. Without my apps.xaml.cs, it doesn't ever set the root. So, okay, we can fix that. Let's open UNVS Code. Super easy. We don't need any of those removes. The only remove we need is that API constants. We'll save that. That will kill it. Let's jump over to here. Yay, we now have an app.cs, which now is going to set our root. I don't remember accidentally doing that, but it wouldn't have been, yeah. I don't know. That's weird. There you go, folks. I even do stupid things all the time. Remove my root app.cs somehow. Okay, hey, now we're getting some breakpoints. I should have noticed this never fired that last time when I put the breakpoint there. So now we have a root. Everything's beautiful. Press play. Yes, we're getting somewhere. Except, whoa, we're getting an exception. Good, we're getting something. Something's happening. We got an exception. On the artist, it's songs. Yeah, I broke everything because I didn't fix the bindings yet on that XAML page. So I'm okay with that, but I want to see what that exception was. So inside of here, reload data at what line? Something's null object. Source. Source is null. Yes, source is null. I did not build that page right. Okay, so we are going to say equals new simple database source. Helps to fill things out. All right, so we've got that problem. Now let's go to this list view. This list view, I don't have this bound appropriately. So this should be binding to items. It's not items I want to bind to. It is source. Right, that's what I named it. So source. All right, so let's run this again. Why is that not happy? There is no... Oh, it needs the database connection. Yes, database dot no, not it's database dot main, and I need to add this using some or gMusic dot data. Perfect. All right, so we have that database dot main. Now we can run this guy. We're getting somewhere. I think we'll get data this time, unless I made another dumb mistake. Totally possible. Come on, after all that coding, nobody caught that? Hey, we have artists again! Yay, that's super exciting. All right, yeah, I need to get rid of that gMusic title. That drives me nuts. It needs to be the hamburger. Everyone knows if you're doing a hamburger, you do a hamburger. No one knows to click on a title. All right, so let's fix songs. Songs is dead to me now, the way it is. So we're going to do the songs just like we did that artist. So let's remove, let's delete this guy. Songs is no more. And let's hope by deleting it properly this time, I won't have to unload and reload. If not, I get to file a bug either way, so it's okay. Unless one of you Visual Studio for Mac guys are watching and want to file it for me. Okay. Views, what are we, song view, that's what we're doing. Hey, thanks for a follow, Carol, that's exciting. All right, so let's do songs, what am I calling these? Songs page. All right, so we have songs page, and we need that because the artist page subclass, the artist songs page subclass is that. Did I delete the artist songs page? No, the view model didn't. I don't remember. We'll figure it out. No, I didn't. I just used the same page again. All right, so here we'll do simple database list view. And that's right, that's right. I'm actually just going to go copy some of that artist page. Let's do that. It's still, even my pages are kind of pathetic. I do like having it done at the page level, just because I don't want my root page to look ridiculously ugly. I could, instead of creating a page for each one, I could easily just go into here to my root page, and while I instantiate these things, fill them out more, but this works pretty good. Hello, Holy something, my things. Holy Chalupas, awesome name, by the way. Sorry, I don't have this right real estate, so my activity indicator's half cut off. I need to make my menu miniature so I can see more and get that back off the screen. All right, so we've got a songs page. We just built that. Let's go back to the songs page now. It's here, public songs page. It does this. Oh, it needs to be a typed thing. No, not here. So I type it, not there. I can't type it there. This is song. Let's add all of our usings. It's having that same bug again. So deleting it does not remove something from the cache. So I'm finding these bugs so you guys don't. It's the joys of me trying out our software early and using it early. Okay. It doesn't do this in the current stable stuff, but in this early pre-release ones, it definitely does not work right. All right, let's add this using for songs. And even though this is yelling at me and telling me this won't work, I'm pretty sure I've got it working right. So let's run it. Ignore the red squigglies, as hard as that is, and see what happens. Hey, it built. Simulator should be coming up. Hey, songs are working now. Our songs page is so much easier now. It's very simple. It's really easy to follow now. Yeah, I like this. Let's do genres. Where are we at on time? We're doing good on time. Let's do genres. All right, so this genres page is crap. We don't need this. This is horrible. Goodbye. Delete you. Okay. So now let's do one more. Add new files. Genre page. I always go back and forth. Do I do plural in genres? Yes, we will. Keep it consistent. Genres page. All right. So again, simple database. Why is my typing not working? Let me click again. Simple database list view. I'm still going to keep copying and pasting this because I like to. I should just template this thing because it's all right. We only have to do this a few more times. All right, so now, since I deleted this, it's going to complain about the same partial class thing again. Goodbye, horrible warning. You are gone. Let's add these models in. Let's add our strings in. Now we can jump over and go to our root page, and let's add genres in there. So we'll now have more screens. Playlists, we can probably get playlists in there too, although this account that I'm logged into doesn't have any, so that wouldn't really be helpful. So let's next. I'm trying to remember. I had a specific order I did everything, and I don't remember what it was, and don't remember why. So navigation item, title equals strings.genres. Naming my localized strings thing strings versus is that's not the best name. I totally type string on accident all the time and don't realize what's going on. It's pretty quick to figure out what happened because it just doesn't have my values in there. Navigation page, but it's still annoying. So it's probably not the best name. And if I was doing it again, I would probably not do that. But YOLO. All right, navigation page. That's there. That's there. Am I missing? I'm not missing any parentheses. That is an invalid. That's an invalid error because of our partial class stuff. Let's run it. I think I have genre data filled out. Didn't get as far as I've liked. I had a little issues refactoring, but now that it's refactored, I'm really liking. Actually, why did that do? Nope. What did I do on my genres? I didn't change it to genres. I left it as songs. I'm glad you like the bugs I find. Let's change this to genres and no, that's the song page. I want the like one, same one. All right, so song. What did I just do? Let's redo this. Undo that. Let's go to genres. Yeah, there we are. All right, and Plural genres. All right, let's run it again. See what happens. I think we are there, and this should actually be genres now instead of songs. I wish I could type things with the XAML. Uh-oh. Exception. What'd it blow up on? Okay, string cannot be null. Update artwork. Hey, I found something. I am not checking if that artwork is null. I'm just using it no matter what. That is not right. All right. Yay, found a bug. All right, in my own code this time. If string dot is null or white space URL return. We'll just leave it as the default album artwork. Problem is, I did not implement the artwork stuff for genres. For genres, I do things differently. Artists get their artwork, genres don't have it. What I've done in the past is like doing it to where it grabs like the top last four, or just grabs four of the icons from inside the playlist or any of the combined things, and then I do a fancy artwork with multiples. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just grab the first one. I don't know. I don't know what I'm feeling like doing for this to go around. I like having the multiples because it shows it's a collection, but yeah, that gets tricky and I can't use that same view cell. I have to do something fancy to do that. So maybe I'll be creating another one. Either way though, hey, check that out. My accounts are wrong. Maybe, I don't know why those are all wrong. And we can't select on it to see what's in it, but hey, we have genres coming in. Let me restart that. I want to know why those are null. I mean, why those are all 0, because they shouldn't be 0. Hey, okay. That's really funny. If you notice, it starts out with them. After the refresh is done, they're all gone. So, that's funny. That's really funny. Okay, that's something to look into. I doesn't do that in the App Store version or my other version, so I'm wondering what I'm doing wrong there. That's really funny. Yeah, that's an awesome bug in my code. I have to figure that out. Okay, so we have songs, artists, genres. What else is there? Now I can't even remember what's all in. Let's go to gMusic really quick. Let's go look at what the shared. Oh, I have it in iOS. So it's inside of iOS. Is it in the root view controller? Oh, an OSX in the app delegate. So we'll just look at what's in this app delegate really quick. See what else is missing in there. So artist, album, genres, songs. I only have artists, don't I? I didn't do albums yet. And so then songs and playlists. So these are, I'm just missing 2 of them. Let's knock those out and then we can call it a day. No, I do have albums. It's just the old stuff. And it's not done. So let's delete the albums page. Remove, delete. What we'll do here is we will say view, add new albums page. So we have our albums page. Let's do another one. Actually, why is there still an about page? Is that being used anywhere? And I don't know why that just closed that view on me. All right, so we're going to kill this about page because it's dumb, not needed. Hate having dead code sitting around. So we have an albums page. We're going to, again, you know what? Let's just knock out these last ones really quick, like so. Not forget to rename them. Yay. Albums page, album. Actually, I'm going to do this even faster. Okay. Albums, album, and albums. All right, so albums is done. We need to tie that in. It was playlists is the only one left, I think. Oh, not an empty class. That's wrong. Remove, just delete you. Not worth playing with. Add new file. So playlists page. And since you lost one, I'll just copy and paste. All right, that's done. Playlists. All right, I don't have playlists, but I do have albums and I have genres, so we should get everything. So I'm going to also check and make sure I'm doing those in the right order. Let's go to our root page. Um, so it was artists, albums, songs, or I don't know, I can't remember. My memory's not that good. All right, artist, albums, genres, songs, playlist. Did I just do it in alphabetical? No, I didn't, because playlists and songs aren't in alphabetical order. I don't know. I can't remember why I picked that order, but consistency, I'm going to keep it there. So artist, let's do albums, album, album page, album artists, genres goes up, songs, and then playlists. It looks like actually the IntelliSense eventually caught up. It's not complaining at me anymore about the partial class pages. Um, so that's good. Eventually it catches up. Well, the albums page still is mad, but the other ones are not. Yeah, angry little page. Let's run it. And we'll make sure each of them work. And yeah, then most of the UI is done. I mean, need to deal with artwork, need to figure out what's going on with that. I'm going to clean the cells up some more. I have font colors, so I'll need to implement styles and things like that. I need to fix the look and feel of these ones because it's not right. And again, I need to do styles and colors and fonts and pretty stuff. But albums, yeah, that one did it too. It had said how many albums and then fell back. I must have something wrong with, I don't know what, because that's really funny. That is awesome. I like that. I really wonder what I'm doing wrong though. But I think every page is now working. I have no playlists on this account, so I need to create some playlists. And maybe I'll create the UI to create playlists next, so that way we can create playlists to see them. Just my dummy account that doesn't really have anything on it. All right, well, I'm really excited. I've made good progress today. Ran into a few snags. We found some bugs that we can fix in the new text editor. I need to add some padding there. That is really bad. What's going on with the padding there? And it's inset too much there, not inset enough there. So I've got some minor UI issues to fix out. Fix fonts, fix colors, make things lay out a little bit better. But yeah, it's coming together nicely. I don't like these headers. My headers are too big and ugly too. I need to make those look nicer. But yeah, that page is even coming along. What's it look like on this one? I'm trying to remember. I thought those looked better, the headers. Oh, it's in dark theme mode. And I don't have any data loaded in. Let's sync out of dark theme. Yeah, I need to do theming. That's going to be a big one. That'll be fun. All right, so theme, let's change you back to default. Yay. The menu doesn't refresh until you restart the app, but and why are those all empty? For some reason my old one's dead. All right. Well, we've made good progress. And found some bugs, and I'm really excited about where it's going. If you have any questions or if you have anything you'd want me to look at doing, feel free to reach out to me. I will adjust these streams to where the people watching it get the best benefit out of it. I want to make sure I'm covering things that you guys use, you need, you want to see done. I want to make sure that, like I said, these are very useful to everyone involved. So make requests. If you think that I'm doing a page that looks horrible and isn't looking right, feel free to recommend I do it differently. Call me out on code I'm writing if something doesn't seem right or it smells fishy and you just don't like a pattern I'm using. I have no problem explaining why I do things and how I'm thinking and why my brain works the way it does the best I can. So feel free to reach out. We can make these a little bit more interactive, and sounds great. Thanks, everybody. I look forward to continuing this up next week. Maybe next week we'll work on the now playing screen and just finish up some more of the general look and feel on those cells and get it looking a little bit better with the now playing screen. And then we'll probably jump into audio once that's done. So thank you, everybody, and I'll talk to you guys later.